So welcome all. The purpose of today's interaction is to make you have an idea regarding the pelvic diaphragm and the perineum. So the pelvic diaphragm is a partition which is separating the pelvis above from the perineum below. So I have with me a pelvis here, and this orange paper cutting is representing the pelvic diaphragm. So this is a partition which is separating the pelvis above. Now my fingers are in the pelvis from the perineum below. Now my finger is in the perineum. What is perineum? Perineum is the region between the thighs which contains the external genitalia. So this pelvic diaphragm is separating the pelvis above from the perineum below, and this pelvic diaphragm is formed by the levator ani and coccygeus muscles of the right and left sides. So these two muscles, they interlace with each other and they form a gutter-shaped pelvic diaphragm, and this is separating the, if I put it in the anatomical position, this pelvic diaphragm is separating the pelvis above from the perineum below. And this pelvic diaphragm, it prevents the pelvic organs from prolapse or going downwards. So if during childbirth this pelvic diaphragm in the lady is damaged, then there is a chance that the uterus, the ovaries, they may prolapse. So this pelvic diaphragm is important. So then we have the perineum, or the region between the thighs. Now there the external genitalia is located, and this perineal region is divided into further two regions by an imaginary line passing through the ischial tuberosities. So my fingers are now touching the ischial tuberosities, and an imaginary line passing through the ischial tuberosities. Anterior region is called the urogenital region, while the posterior region is called the anal region. Now this urogenital region has got this white paper cutting which is representing the perineal membrane. So the urogenital region has got a perineal membrane, and this is a triangular membrane. And this triangular membrane in the urogenital region, this is separating the deep perineal pouch from the superficial perineal pouch. Now, where is the deep perineal pouch? Deep perineal pouch is where my finger is now. So it is lying deep to the perineal membrane, and the superficial perineal pouch is where my fingers are now. That is lying superficial to the perineal membrane. So in the urogenital region, we have a triangular membrane, the apex of which is thickened. That is called the transverse perineal ligament. And there's a gap between the apex of this membrane and the inferior pubic ligament, this one where my finger is pointing. And this triangular membrane is attached on the sides to the ischiopubic rami, and posteriorly it is attached to the perineal body, shown in black here, which is the central point of perineum. 10 muscles are attached here to the perineal body. This is a fibromuscular node. So this membranous structure called the perineal membrane is dividing the urogenital region into two parts: the superficial perineal pouch, which is lying superficial to the perineal membrane, and the deep perineal pouch, which is lying deep to the perineal membrane. So we have the deep perineal pouch here and the superficial perineal pouch here. So these two pouches are formed in the perineal region, that is the urogenital region, the urogenital part of the perineal region. And these two pouches, the deep and the superficial, are separated from each other by the perineal membrane. We can see the opening of the urethra here and the opening of the vagina here in the perineal membrane. So this urogenital region is this part of the perineal region, which is lying in front of the ischial tuberosities, an imaginary line joining the two ischial tuberosities. So the part lying in front of that is called the urogenital region, where we have the perineal membrane, superficial to which lies the superficial perineal pouch, and deep to which lies the deep perineal pouch. Now here we have the anal region, on the sides of which are the two sacrotuberous ligaments. So this green tape is representing the sacrotuberous ligaments. It is joining the sacrum on one side and the ischial tuberosity on the other side. And in front, we have again that imaginary line joining the two ischial tuberosities. So this is called the anal region, It has got the opening of the anus in the center, and on the sides, there are two fat-filled fossae called the ischiorectal fossae. My fingers are in the position of the right and left ischiorectal fossae. So we have the perineum, that is the region between the thighs, an imaginary line joining the two ischial tuberosities. Area anterior to it is called the urogenital triangle, where lies the perineal membrane, the triangular membrane, superficial to which lies the superficial perineal pouch, deep to which lies the deep perineal pouch. So deep to the perineal membrane lies the deep perineal pouch, and posteriorly we have the anal region, on the sides of which lie the sacrotuberous ligaments. Anteriorly is the imaginary line joining the two ischial tuberosities. In the center is opening of the anal canal, and on the sides are the opening of the right and left ischioanal fossae. So this was regarding the pelvic diaphragm and the perineal membrane. So you can make out that the pelvic diaphragm is lying above while the perineal membrane is lying below. Between the perineal membrane and the pelvic diaphragm, this is now the deep perineal pouch. Here is the superficial perineal pouch. And posteriorly in the perineum, we have the opening of the anus in the anal region, and on the sides are the right and left ischioanal fossae. So students, I hope you understand the location of the pelvic diaphragm and the triangular perineal membrane. So structures which are passing from the deep perineal pouch to the superficial perineal pouch, they pierce this perineal membrane in males and females. So for the formation of the pelvic diaphragm, how the levator ani and coccygeus muscles, they are originating and inserting. And for the structures in the deep perineal pouch and the superficial perineal pouch, kindly follow my classes which will be available on this YouTube channel. And I hope you understand the structures present in the superficial and deep perineal pouches and the structures making up the pelvic diaphragm then. So till the next time we meet, it's bye from me. Thank you.